Good.
All right, recording has started. It is the Sunday show at Akrotiri. So let's get into the briefing, shall we? It is going to be a standard. It may be a low show. We're going to give the high show a shot, but it may end up being a low show. It's going to be. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to brief realistically. Let's start with the weather briefing, actually.
Sure, yeah. So today's METAR flying out of Akrotiri, and it is local time 3 p.m. Winds are 210 for 3 knots according to the DCS real METAR, though I think that's going to work out to 6 knots. So that will be a slight left
Yeah.
headwind on takeoff. There is precipitation in the vicinity, though I doubt DCS actually simulated that. Broken layer at 8,100 feet, another broken layer at 25,000 feet, another at 38. Temperature is 16 dew point 6, altimeter 3021.
All right. That's marginal for a high show. We'll give it a shot. Um, all right. So yeah, it's going to be right out of Chalks, and then right on Yankee to hold short runway 20. Then it's going to be. We're going to lamp and wait on 20, and then do section takeoff maneuvers, followed by a standard high show. Unless I make an audible in the middle, and that will be determined likely around the sneak pass. So keep that in mind. We will probably do a low show version of the horizontal rolls, so just be ready for a fairly quick roll and pull coming out of that.
Okay.
Um, Aside from that, it is going to be a right turnout out of the delta breakout for left pitch at break to land. Stagger will be left. We'll go well clear on the left turn into parking for individual right 90s into chocks. Any questions before we do goals for the show?
Yes. So horizontal rolls. Let's pull up to roughly 5 degrees. Ready. Hit it 2 rolls. I call clear, and then we're going to do roll pull behind crowd.
Negative. It's going to be blowers pull to 80, and then a very quick, likely a quick roll and blowers pull to. So basically what we do for a high show, but just a faster cadence
Just
when we hit
faster.
80.
Okay. Got it.
That
Good.
is
I'm
the
glad I clarified.
Yeah, that's the low show. So when I call, my differentiation in the future is going to be if I don't say anything, it's the standard high show clear. If I
Mm-hmm.
call low show clears, if I call low clears, then that means what we're just talking about. And then behind the crowd clears is no up, just standard roll and pull behind crowd.
Got it.
Um,
So
and I
nothing high show, low clears is what we just talked about, and um, behind the crowd clears is for flat show.
Yes. Also be
Got it.
prepared for behind the crowd clears after the 4 point as well. That's the only other place I think that it can happen. So
Mm-hmm.
if we need to do that, that takes us directly into the inverted tuck over roll.
Got it.
And then I'm not going to walk through how a flat show goes, but just so that I put that into your brain. But I'll also call it. So,
Mhm.
yeah. And
So that would
considering,
be as though we were coming out of the vertical pitch.
yep, we just skip the vertical pitch essentially.
Got it. All right.
Um, and other interesting stuff happens after that, but we won't go over that right now because we're
Mm-hmm.
not in
Sounds
a
good.
flat show scenario. Okay. Goals for the show. Let's start. If you've got them, go for it.
Yeah, my goal is just to fly a safe show and stay ahead of the show. My brain's elsewhere, and so I think it's entirely possible that I could get behind the show or just flustered.
My
So
goal is also to stay ahead of the show and to continuing to work on this goal of getting the maneuver callouts in the 10-second window. And also to fly, to adjust properly for the winds of the Fortis.
Alrighty.
Alright. Anything else before we get started?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Ready break. I'm going to switch inputs.
Ready break.
BrotherLeb, you got me?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Alright. Oi. Let's not pull the cable. Thank you. Alright. I've got my visual, I've got your visual. I've got my
good.
comms, I've got your comms.
Cool stuff.
Disabling the preview and minimizing.
Yeah, this cloud deck will be interesting. Okay, I'm ready to go if you are. Let me know when you're ready to unpause.
Hold one, and I will get there.
Oh, you know what? Didn't do that. I wonder if I still can.
Do what?
Don't worry about it.
Alright.
It's not going to affect you.
Let me know when you're ready to, I am ready to unpause.
Alrighty. Oh, I can't. Okay, cool. I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Alright, advise when ready for startup.
Ready for start.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Web.
3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, right engine crank.
Web.
And 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, right engine forward.
Web.
And 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine crank. Interesting. Left engine crank in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby, left engine forward.
Web.
Roll left.
And 3, 2,
Right
1,
control.
mark. Standby,
Right
FCS.
control.
Go for FCS.
And 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
In test.
Nailed it. Yep. Chariot's FCS is go.
Web.
Chariot's IFA is holding DTC.
Web.
Chariots DTC complete.
Lab DC complete.
Chariots update, come on.
Uptree, come on.
Discord check.
Good job.
Takeoff checks.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading at tree 0 tree. Check your altimeter set. Tree 012 for a correct center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your warning 0. Check your FCS 12. 30, 30, 30 down 2. Check your fuel. Seat armed. Lights out.
Left.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are 210 for 3. Check your altimeter set 3021 for a corrected altimeter of 3012 for a center point elevation of 0 feet and a dead sea altitude of 82 feet above sea level. Chariot squawk 1205, level squawk 1206. You're cleared right out of chocks, right on X-ray, right Yankee. Hold short 25.
Thanks, Leb. Clear to taxi. Hold short 25. Solos were cleared to taxi. Check your parking brakes off. Chairs parking up to 75%. Off brakes now. Coming right, go well clear. Easing power to 68%. Letting it roll. Solo switching 8, com 1. Chariots up 8, com 1.
Up 8, come on.
Chariot tree 212 set. 0 feet barrow out.
Leb's tree 222 set 0 feet barrel.
Chariots coming right, go line abreast.
Leb.
Stand by the flaps. Flaps. Check your flaps half pump on. Chariots flaps up 321, 2 degrees down, barrow out. Coming easy left.
Leb's flaps half pumps on, barrel out.
BrotherLeb detach.
Leb's attached.
Coming left. Okay. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Solos were cleared for takeoff. Updated winds are 210 for 6. That is a left crosswind. Check your parking markers off. Maneuver our section takeoff maneuvers.
Leb.
Check your parking markers off. Let's throw 'em up.
Brakes off now. Blowers ready now. Blowers ready now.
See ya.
Ready. Hit.
Sure, sir.
Wings level smoke on, blowers ready now. Smoke on. Clear.
Cheers clear 1.7.
Let's clear 1 mark.
Cheers clear behind the crowd for the opposing knife edge.
Opposing knife.
3 miles. 3.5. 4 miles. Mark.
Let me know when you're beam. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Beam.
Let me know when you're ready to take a mark.
Go ahead, take it.
Stand by, mark it. 9. Turns in for the right knife edge.
Let's in right, have it. 10 seconds. Mark point 1. 4. Three miles. Mark 4. 14. A little left. Two miles. Mark 402.
Swag on.
Contact.
Swag off. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 2 miles mark.
2.2.
Inverted check complete, pumps on.
Or check week comes on. Correction pops up. Four miles.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Let me know, take a mark.
I take it.
Stand by, mark it. 40. Trace in for the left inverted.
Good lab. 10 seconds. Mark 4 miles. 3 miles. Mark 406. Two miles. Mark 4.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on.
Roll right, roll right.
Looking good.
Roll right, roll right.
A little drive. Ready, hit it.
Roll right.
Stand
roll
by,
right.
roll. And pull. 196.
Left.
Stand by, roll. Trace clear and clear behind the crowd for the Fortis. Come left, hooks coming down.
Contact.
340. Ease and lots of power. 330. Ease and simple. Rolling up some bank. 320. 310. Ease the pull. Rolling out. Adding a little power. Souls behind the crowd. Setting up the Fortis. Check your landing lights on.
Left.
Chariot. Adding a little power. We're getting blown towards the crowd. Expect a tight turn.
Left.
We're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. Adding power. We're at the 90 for the Fortis. Can I have fly? Going up.
Let's get down, hook down, flex up.
A little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Fortis easing power a little in outboard to inboard. Trace rolling in.
Clear.
Little inboard, high by 100. Center point. Pushing out. Tracer rolling out.
Clear.
Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Gear. Hook. BrotherLeb detach.
Clear.
Trace clear, and clear behind the crowd for the MRT, state 9-1.
State 80.
Little less everything right now.
Yeah. Plenty of power, though.
Chariot circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, Mark 350. Three miles, Mark 350. Two miles, Mark 351. 1.5 MRT. 1 mile, Mark 350. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Good entry.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Ease of the ball. Comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out. 1200. Coming right. Comes the pull. Easing a little pull. Easable. Rolling out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing a little power. Coming a little left.
Connect.
360. Rolling out. 375, easing lots of power to hold 380. Souls in front of the crowd, setting up the opposing MRT.
You got DJ.
Chariot, easing more power. Adding a little power, coming right. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Looking for 016. Ease the ball. Roll out. The opposing MRT coming easy left. Adding lots of power. A little pull to level. Rolling out. One right. Adding more power. Smoke on left lead.
Little in front, little low. Adding a little power. A little drive. Easing power. Power set.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Touch.
A little slow.
Full fat.
Numbers.
Left. Connect.
Linear for center point lab.
Left.
Little high. Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. Roll.
Quit.
Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.7 mark.
Map. .4 miles.
11 near beam.
I'll be.
11 near take a mark.
Dig it.
Stand by, mark it.
46. Chariot's in for the left horizontals, low clears.
Up to the left horizontals. Look. 10 seconds. Mark point 1. 400. Three miles. Mark 42. Two miles. Mark 401.
Still ahead. Smoke on.
Got it.
Connect. A little pull. Ready. Hit it.
Roll left, roll left.
Burners. Pull. Stand by. Roll. Burners. Pull. Ease of the pull. Rolling out 5.5.
Left.
Chariot's coming right and circling behind the crowd for the sneak 2 vertical rolls. Chariot 7.5.
Left 7-6. Nice.
That's what that's like.
I gotta gain altitude now, otherwise I won't be able to come back down the hill.
Yeah. Let me know what that cloud layer is at when you get there.
I will try.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird turn because usually I dive down into it, so we'll see what happens here. 3, 4. Chariot is circling around the crowd for the sneak to vertical rolls and turning in for the sneak to vertical rolls on the runway.
Look.
Four miles, mark 0.75.
1 mile.
3 miles, mark 0.83.
Yeah, I'm a mile behind. Do what you need.
2 miles, mark 0.87. 1 mile, mark 0.90 full burn.
Smoke up.
Chariot clear 96.
Ready. Hit. Stand by. Roll. Looks clear. Clouds 8.
Clouds 8. Chariot is circling 3.5 for the solo flat pass.
Solo flat path.
Chariot's turning in 3.5, solo flat pass. Ease in the pull, rolling out. The solo flat pass, adding a little power, a little pull, 2 level. Smoke on. Adding more power, 320. Center point. A little pull, adding power. Good. I'm a singer. Adding more power. Smoke off. Chariot attach. Chariot attach, boss. Let me know your beam.
Beam.
Let me know your take mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, market 13. Chariot's in for the right 4 point.
What was the right 4 point? Ten seconds. Mark little ahead. 440 brakes. 3 miles. Mark 420 brakes. 2 miles. Mark 375.
Smoke on.
Got it.
Connect. Smoke off. Ready, hit it. 1, 2,
Go right,
3, 4. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chair's clear, and clearing in for the crowd. For the opposing vertical pitch, we'll try it. 2 miles mark.
Leb, 2 miles. Sorry about that.
It's fine. It'll be a quick roll, so expect to have a lot of pull coming down the hill.
Leb. And a 4 miles mark.
Let me know when you're in.
I mean,
Let me know take a mark.
we take it.
Stand by, mark it. 41. Chariot's in for the left vertical pitch.
Left and left.
200.
200. 10 seconds, mark, little ahead, 3 miles, mark 402.
On time.
Two miles, mark 403, check smoke.
Smoke on.
Connect.
Connect. Add it up. Ready, hit it. 1 left. 60. Stand by, roll, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 6-7. A little more pull.
6-8. Connect, will
Looking good. A little more pull. 1.5 mark.
match.
1 mile mark 400.
Match.
A little pull. Ready, hit it.
roll left, roll left.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chair's clear, and clear around the crowd for the inverted tuck of a roll.
Cover left, 390, eastbound.
Contact.
380. 1 ounce of bank, 370. 1 out more bank, 365. 355. Adding power to gas, 350. And we're rolling out.
You got 2 left.
Left. Coming left. Coming further. Souls around the crowd, setting up the invertical roll.
Try it.
Coming even further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Souls at the 90 for the invertical roll.
Try it.
Adding power roll out a little bank. Ease in the pull, rolling out, outboard or inboard outboard. Adding a little power, up we go. Ready, hit. Pull up.
Roll right,
Smoke on.
roll right.
He's a little power. A little drive, ready, hit. Clear.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
It's up.
Contact.
Ease the pull, rolling out, coming left, 335. 345. 355. 365. 370. 375. 380. Ease and power to get.
You got 2 left.
Pull up. Ease and a little more power. Rolling out spec. Souls behind the crowd setting up the section alpha.
Chariot.
We got a crosswind, Chariot.
Let's do it.
Rolling out. He's a little more power. Coming back left. Going further left. Easing lots of power. Comes the pole. Stand by the boards. Board. We'll have a little bank. A little more pole. Sold to the 90 for the second half.
Chariot, do what you need.
A little further left. Little pull. No, he's rolling out. Stand by the boards. Board. Inboard, outboard. Little pull. Little high, little fast. Easing power. 3 mile. 190. Easing more power. 180. A little more pull. 170. Still high. 165. 155. Little left. 150. 145. 140. A little more pull. 130. And we're pulling another set. Adding power. A little more power. Smoke on. We're setting it. A little more power.
Center point. Wave it off.
Flip.
Holy smokes, that was hard.
60. Coming left.
Chariot's breaking left. 270.
Contact.
290. Ease in power. Ease in some pull. 300. Rolling out some bank. 310. 320 coming further left. A little more pull. 330. A little more pull. 340. Ease of the pull. Rolling out. Souls around the crowd. Setting up the wander. A little climb.
Go up, DJ.
Chariot. A little drive. 2 level. Easing power. We're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. One left turn for the wander.
Flip.
A little more pull. Ease on the ball. Roll it out. The wander. Easing power. Smoke on. Adding a little power. 1.5 mark. Easing a little power. 1 mile mark. half-mile mark. Ready, hit it! Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull.
Contact.
Ease, rolling out, easing power. 380. 380, a little pull, easing lots of power. 370. 360, Delta's behind the crowd, send up the Delta roll, Chariot 47.
146.
Adding a little power, and coming left. Coming further left. A little pull, a little more pull.
Got 6 hours.
Loss. Adding a little power. Worth a 90 for the Delta roll.
Yep.
Ease in the pull and roll it out. The Delta roll. Smoke on. Up we go. A little more pull. Okay. Rolling out a little pull.
Clear check.
Ease the pull to level. Coming back left. Coming further left. A little pull, a little more pull. Or left hand turn for Flitty.
Flip.
Rolling out a little bank. Easing some pull. Smoke off. Coming further left comes the pull. Ease of the pull. Roll out the flirtily outboard. Up we go. A little more pull, adding power. Smoke on. Ready to break.
Ready.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Cut it.
Easable and rolling out.
Coming right, and crossing your nose. 470 mark.
Contact.
Ease power. 470. Ease its pull. 465. Adding power to hold 460. Coming right comes the pull. A little more pull.
Got 2.
Smoke on. Ease in the pull. Roll it out. Up we go. A little more pull. Okay. Rolling through. Coming further left. Rolling through. Smoke off. Go get him.
Clear.
Cheers for contact.
Come back right. 350, 3000. out through 60. 370, coming back right comes the pole, 380. A little further right, a little more pole, 385. Delta's in a right-hand turn for the loop break cross boss, 200.
Chariot, 350. You got 6, boss.
Boss, a little more right, a little more pole. Ease in the ball. Rolling out the loop break cross.
Chariot.
Through. Set. Rolling out. We're about 100 low, adding power.
Take it in.
Up we go, a little more pull, even more pull. Vertical 5-5. A little more pull. Ready, break, 0.3 left. Correction, right. Smoke. 0.5, mark 460. 1 mile, mark 440. 1.5, mark 425. 2 miles, mark 410. 2.5, mark smoke on 3 miles, mark up we go, and a 4G mark. Vertical 4-7, 8 alpha. Horizon now 7.5, easing power idle. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, rolling it, little steep. 3 miles, mark, and pulling out. 2.5, mark, 410.
350,
2 miles, mark,
350,
401.
350, 350, 350, 350.
1.5, mark, 399. 1 mile, mark, 400. 0.5, mark 4. Smoke off. Clear.
Sure, sir.
Coming left 400. 380. 360.
Contact.
Rolling out some bank. 350. And rolling out. We're coming back left. Easing some power code further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Adding a little power. Delta left-hand turn for the Delta breakout. It'll be right turn.
Sure, you got 6, boss.
Easing power. A little further left. Smoke on. Easing the pull. Easing more power. Rolling out. We're 10 right. Easing pull, little drive. And a little pull. Ready, break. 3 left. Set. Smoke. Pop.
Chariot's clear. 185, 300 at 1750.
Contact.
310. 320. Coming right. Comes the pull. 330. 340. Easing some pull. Rolling out little bank. 350. Easy power to hold. Delta's in the right hand turn for the Delta. Left pitch break to land. $353. 350 coming further right. Comes the pull.
Got 6 more.
Boss, a little more pull. Smoke on. Easing some pull. Coming further right. A little more pull. Easing the pull and rolling out the left pitch break to land.
Liberty.
Numbers.
Take it.
Center point. Boss breaking.
Last.
Easable. Rolling out 311.
3-1.
Smoke off. Gear and flaps. Chariot's gear down, flaps down, hook up.
Lebs, gear down, flaps down, hook up.
Coming left, 280 lub. 260 lub. 240 lub. Check them 3 in the green. Updated winds are 320 for 6. Staggers left 220 lub.
3 in the green, 3206. Style.
200 lub easing power. 180 lub. 160 lub. 140 all the way lub. Little angle high.
170. 150. 140 all the way, little.
Cheers, guy.
That's okay. That's okay.
Chariot, landing checks. Check your smoke pressure off. Check your tabs. Check your flaps auto. Check your land lines off. Reset your trim and save your seat.
Lib.
We'll go well clear on the left turn into parking for individual right 90s into shocks.
Lib.
Check parker brakes off. Chariot's spraying up to 72% off. brakes now. Coming right, give me two on the right wing.
Lip.
Nice flight, Leb.
Nice flight, Chariot. Way to roll with punch.
Second half felt great. Ease and power to 68 and then land and roll. Rolling out. Little brakes. Off. Brakes now. Coming, left go a clear.
Left's clear.
Rolling through. Rolling out. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes off. Brakes now. Coming right. Coming right for parking. Okay. 303.
303.
Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes.
Dang it.
Stand by canopy and engines.
Well,
In 3, 2, 1, mark. That's a show. Coming off under the hood. BrotherLeb, you got me? Alright, let's wait for the stream. How about now?
Hello, hello.
Alright. Well, did we ever aviate that show?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool, actually, though. It was some spiciness. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done the vertical pitch. Probably should have shifted to a full-on flat, low show after the sneak. But lessons learned. That's why they say 10,000's the floor for a high show. Really, really fascinating. Alright, open Akrotiri. Alright, let me know when you're ready to debrief. BrotherLeb, you got me? Interesting. BrotherLeb, you got me?
Hello?
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 Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. Weird. I had it set to the only possible input and output I could have, and it wasn't picking up. But then I set it back to that same output, and it's like, okay, here we are.
Yeah, that happens with Discord sometimes.
2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, Roger is now allowed in, and I'm ready to go.
All right. That was a show at Akrotiri, the Sunday show. Not as ideal weather conditions as previous. shows, but I feel like we rolled with the punches pretty well. Lessons learned is we really do need 10,000 in order to do the vertical pitch, so in the future we'll probably need to make an adjustment there. So that'll be interesting. I'll need to take a look at what the diamond's doing at that time to see if we need to like add a maneuver or something. I don't think so, because I think realistically the clears are determined by Mo. Well, by Boss, who relays it to us from Mo. But yeah, those are things to think about for sure. As far as the goal for the show, I got all of the maneuvers in within the 10 seconds, and I feel like I adjusted to the winds for the Fortis fairly well. We actually went right over center point. So I would consider those to be successes.
Yeah. I would kind of take a neutral, like a mulligan on mine. I didn't get like way really wigged out at any point or thrown off or like out of sorts, but I don't feel like I was like strictly speaking ahead of the show. So
yeah,
I'd take a kind of a middle.
I didn't really feel ahead of the show either. Felt like I was trying to think a lot about the weather and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's get rolling. That's the wrong one. Let's do this one. There we go. All right. Taxi felt fine. We didn't do what I briefed, so that is a fault of mine. We should have parked up anyway, because I briefed that we were holding short and we were cleared to hold short, so I kind of, violated the FAA rules and regulations there. So even if we don't have anything to say after we park, still gotta do it because our clearance is to hold short. So yeah. Well, I will. If I decide that we're gonna line up and wait, I'll brief that in the future. But from now on, what I say in our briefing is gonna be what goes, even if we don't have anything to say afterward.
Sounds good. Did you intend to line up and wait the whole time?
No, I decided in the middle of the turn when I released you.
All right. I wondered because I was like, we totally briefed a hold short.
Yep.
And then I called a hold short as the quote controller.
Yeah.
But you told me to go, and so I went because you're the flight lead, and it would be weird if I didn't.
Yep. That was yep. That's a decision I made. So aside from that, the taxi felt good, and the new things felt okay. The first one, yeah, no, it felt good. What do you think?
This is not my best low transition. It was a little wobbly.
Oh no, I'm talking about the taxi.
Oh, the taxi. I mean, aside from the line up and wait instead of hold short thing, it was fine.
Okay. Dirty roll on takeoff for me. It was just a little quick, so I ended up a little. I squatted the jet a little high, and I got a little low in the turn, so it was a little dangerous. But the jet was very wallowy compared to normal, so it got a little unstable in the nose up moment. So nothing unsafe. I've dealt with it before, but just different flight characteristics with different weather. And that's exactly why we're doing real weather these days. So, yeah, nothing to write home about. Solid B.
Yeah. Similarly, I like trying to get the jet to do the low transition. It was just a little wobbly in the start. Over the top was fine though. Maintained altitude. No further notes on that.
All right, that takes us to the Kniff Edge. Yeah, the opposing knife edge felt good. I think we might. I'm not sure where we hit relative to center point, but it felt like we were on the knife edge for a decent for like the right amount of time. My clears weren't super on, but I was focusing more on timing, like trying to time the clears with you. than hitting my angles correctly this show. And I'll be interested to see how many times I got that right. So, once again, solid B.
Yeah, my inbounds were a little sporty, a little all over the place, a little fast in general. So if we hit in a weird spot, it probably is largely my fault for not being consistent on that. I snap rolled like real quick on this, both in and out. Slight overroll. Yeah, C. Not great.
I want to see how my rolls timed out here. Yeah, pulls were at the right time. Yep. Yep, okay. I've got the timing down again. Except for the clear, like the very last one. So, okay. Good notes to learn. Alright, that takes us to the inverted to inverted. Yeah, this one felt pretty good. I had a little bit too much push, about like at the 3/4 mile mark. So I burbled a little bit, which probably threw you off. So apologies there. Because it was wallowy, it was a little bit nose low for the turn behind crowd, which was a little sketch. But aside from that, everything was fine. So B minus for me on this one.
Yeah, a little sloppy overall for me. The big note though is that like I've forgotten the old wisdom of like I might as well just start off high because I'm gonna have to go high to make the hit work. And so I ended up like low and I just couldn't bring in enough drive, so it's gonna be a low hit. So another C in this one.
Okay. Good clears. Yep. Alright, timing for those is better again. Fortis, this one was sporty. Tons of adjustments all over the place, which made that in the turn. I've never flown this with wind that blows us away from the crowd. So that was a new experience, and ended up adjusting well for it, but it was just required a lot more adjustments than normal. The roll to inverted with any wind above 5 knots is sporty, and you get pushed into a weird zone, so I had to kind of like adjust. But once I got stuck in, I just stuck it and tried to get it as flat as possible. Rollout was fine, and the clears were fine. I think I was a little late on my snap roll to level, so that won't look good this time. Good improvements, good adaptations, but some mistakes. So B minus again.
One of the better rejoins I've done for that maneuver in a long time. Struggled in the turn, just getting in the right position and staying stable, and then I floated pretty big once we rolled out wings level, headed towards show center. I was a little tight on you for the roll in, but you ended up holding your position and altitude reasonably well, so I didn't have to correct as much. So I was actually basically in position more quickly, which was nice instead of being as far out as I sometimes am. So trusting you more actually worked out in that particular case. So it was a very tight Fortis. The clears I got a little loose, and again, it was kind of the inverse of that, a little less trust. But overall, I'll give myself a B for this one.
All right. So that takes us to the MRT. Yeah, the MRT was interesting as well. It was. There's just I was a little low for this one and carried too much power. So ended up not really squatting the jet so much as just like ripping a sweet, climbing turn. But still got a good decent turbo nose low over the top, but was very high. Snapped right to the right and pulled pretty hard behind the crowd, and then realized I was going to pull too hard, so I eased it out. And that was the right call, as we'll discover in the opposing MRT. But all in all, yet another B minus.
I was late, so I kind of like chased you into the box or over to center point after your turbo nose low, and then actually was tight enough in the turn to need to deconflict when you eased out your turn and rolled out. So that was something that I don't know that I've ever had to do in that maneuver. But I was right in position for the OMRT, which was nice. So I don't know, C. It's, yeah.
Spicy. Yeah. New things all over the place in this show. Alright. Opposing MRT. Yeah. The turn was fine. The rollout was extremely snappy and we had to come back left, but that got us lined up more or less right on. So not what I want to do. I would love to roll out on, but I'm happy with where we ended up for what the crowd is going to see. So that was fine. I ended up getting a little wide from you before we did our 270 rolls. That's never happened before, but I'm curious to see that's gonna look like from the crowd because we've had wing overlap previously. So this might actually look better. So I'll be interested to see what this looks like. I was pretty much right on the numbers, if like maybe 3 to 5 knots fast coming around the corner, and we hit about like 4 right. My rolls were good, clears were good. I would give myself probably a B minus again because of the overspeed through the turn.
Yeah, turn initially was good. The rollout caught me off guard, so I was a safety there. I got a little too close and then had to deconflict. It got a little low, but was able to kind of get back in position by the time you handed me lead, but I wasn't quite locked in yet. The actual maneuver once after the hit was pretty good. Roll was solid. I got on profile pretty fast. Climb a little bit in the turn, but was able to manage it. And then I have just lost the knack for getting back to center point at any reasonable speed. I cannot tell how fast you're coming in, and I'm just having trouble getting to center point. I have typically been too fast, but the last like 4 shows or so I've been slow. So I need to not pull as much power out, I guess. But I'm always worried about overspeed, so I need to just overcorrect, go back and find the good spot. I don't know. I guess with the safety, it'd be an F.
I think it's gonna look really good from the crowd. That'll be interesting. Yeah, that rollout.
That's crazy.
I know, dude.
Look at the speed too. Like you just held 380, like very, very good, and I'm at almost doing 410 knots by the time we hit.
I don't know, man.
That's crazy. I mean, my circle is definitely wider than yours, but
it's probably where some of it is. All right, horizontal rolls. This had the adjustment of the low clears. All things concerned, I think we hit like 2 left, and that's because I was overspeeding into the box because I was trying to anticipate some stuff. That's a bummer. But as far as the up and the rollout goes, I think that was the right adjustment and well performed. So I would call that a solid B minus again.
these inbounds weren't as bad as the 4-point inbounds, but they were pretty bad as far as like consistency, timing, all that stuff. So that was not the best. I do think I got the altitude right for the hit and was able to perform the rest of the maneuver reasonably well. So B minus.
Come on, get the roll right time. Dang it, I rolled too early again. I'm over anticipating those. Okay. I can fix it. I know it doesn't matter.
Nobody can see both of you. Us
I can. I care. All right. Sync to vertical rolls. With myself being lower, I clearly got to 4 miles faster than normal. So that's interesting to note. But speeds were on. I was on altitude, and it was a really solid sneak pass, right about 30 feet. So it'll look really nice from crowd. Should be right level with the canopy. Clears were good. I don't know what grade to give this because I'm not sure if the 4 mile being short is something that I need to fix. So probably a B, but we'll see.
I don't think so, because in a show with a diamond, we'd just be doing it based on the diamond's
That's
timing.
fair, yeah.
So, yeah, you're 4 mile because it came quickly and you kind of realized it late. I got caught off guard, so I was pretty behind, and just pushing right on the edge of the number all the way in. But I didn't bust the number, and I was probably just right on the edge of the right timing, so I'll call that a win. And the clear was outboard, but I was over the clouds anyway, so it didn't really matter. Yeah, we'll talk about the rest, what happens after that in the next maneuver, but I give that one a B.
Bruh. Yeah. You were about 4 seconds over the crowd.
It's not bad.
No, not bad at all. Alright, the line abreast flat pass was flat and slow, as it should be. Moving on. The opposing 4 points. Yeah, this was spicy. I was behind by like a half mile the whole way in. So I ended up chucking in burner and getting up to 500 knots and then boardsing in the box to slow down. And I got down to like 420 by the time we did the maneuver. And we hilariously we hit like 3 right. So I overdid it. That's funny. Clears were good, I think. I think they're even going to be on time, but that's still like a D, because I should have been better at... I shouldn't have overdone it. If anything, we should have hit left. But as it is, it's a D.
Let's see. So I cleared outboard, which I don't normally do, and then I didn't have any visual references, which I normally have, and then I didn't think ahead about what heading I want to be on, like which direction relative to the show. I mean, I knew which direction relative to the show, but I didn't know where I was relative to the show. And I could have just used the heading and the kneeboard, but I didn't do that. So that's a problem to start with. So it took me a while to get to where I needed to be. And then I was kind of in a funny spot and a little fast and a little sucked. And yeah, there's just like I created problems for myself, which is what made the inbound for these so bad. I think I was doing 450 knots on the first of the 10-second call. And I was early, so not only was I, or not early, I was on, yeah, I was early.
Yeah.
I was like at 3.8 and doing 450 knots. And I think I thought I was going to be late, but then misjudged it or whatever. So anyway, it's just like the whole inbound thing was a complete mess. Once we got into the box and the actual maneuver itself was fine, the clears were good, but that whole thing, I probably could just call that an F.
Alright, vertical pitch. Probably shouldn't have done it. Probably should have cleared done behind the crowd clears with the 4 point, but we did it anyway, which meant that it was fairly snappy. But all things considered, we hit like 1 left for the initial hit, and we rolled and pulled at relatively the same rates, and we were matched coming in. I think we might have hit like 1 or 2 right, maybe, for the hit over center point. Clears were good. So, honestly, I'd give this like an A.
How in the crap do we hit right?
We'll see.
That's
We will see.
Because I was fast on the way in. Anyway,
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't really add that much to what you said. I feel like most of it was pretty solid. I adjusted to the changes and the way that it worked pretty well, and I'd give it an A for where we were.
Match rolls a little late clears. Match rolls on the clears. Dang, that looked good. All right, inverted tug over roll. That's you.
Yeah, inverted tour. So we started out. I was worried about the wind, so I tried to give us as much lateral spacing behind the crowd as possible, which we ended up having way more than we needed. So the turn was a little wonky, but got us more or less set. We rolled in late, which was my bad, but it was pretty steady, so that felt good. And then the hit was fine. I slightly overrolled it, but I was also high compared to you. Like when I rolled out, you were like below my canopy rail, which I'm not used to, so that was weird. But then the clears were real tight because I was right there. I probably overrolled the first 90, or the roll to knife edge. So overall, what would I call that? I don't know, C plus.
Come on. Give me 1 second. Ah, I rolled a little early. Dang it. Okay. Okay. The turn behind crowd was a little bit slower than I was expecting, so I ended up like, diamond 360 slot before we started the pole, which was fine. I knew I was close, but I also knew that if I pushed out, then I'd get way out of position. So I just kind of just stuck it there, and it was a little closer than I wanted to be. But I was in a solid position all the way around the turn, and then rollout was really good. Up the hill was really good. Roll in was bang on. Like, you didn't move. It was pretty sick. I'm really looking forward to watching the stream back because I actually locked you with my head the whole way because I was that confident of my positioning. And I think this is the best I've ever done it. I'll be really interested to see how this looks because I don't think I got ahead of you this time. But I rolled too early. So it'll be interesting to see what this looks like. Clears were also good. I'm guessing my timing's still ahead, because it was as long to wait as I felt comfortable, but I'm guessing that that's still too short. So I'll be interested to see how that looks, but this is not perfect, but I'll give myself a B-, which is the first time I've gave myself above a C for this maneuver since we started practicing it.
Nice. Yeah, so the high alpha. I was worried about the same thing, so I set it pretty wide. It actually worked pretty well for this one, but then once we got pointed back towards center point, I wanted to start crowd inboard and like allow it to scoot to outboard, but the amount of I didn't set up my heading right to start with. So we were having a lot of drift already, and then I was also I was pointed at center point, but then it was drifting outboard. So even though we were set up inboard, I wasn't helping it. So then I was trying to bring it back to the left to start, and I had just a little bit of left wing down when I pulled to the set, which made the whole thing really unstable. And so it was a little spicy for the first half mile of the maneuver. And trying to get enough power in, make sure the wings were level, stabilize the drift, which we were able to do. If you look at the crab angle we've got, it's kind of gnarly.
It is. That's fascinating. I noticed that while I was flying.
I tried to set that, but it also makes it basically impossible for you to fly line abreast like that.
Meh.
Anyway, but that crab angle is nuts. Look at that, because we're tracking basically parallel to the runway, but we're crabbing by 10 degrees. I don't know. I tried a different rudder with clear, and I don't know how it's going to look. It meant the roll was slow, but yeah, overall, I don't know what I'd call that. I think I adjusted well to what it was put in front of me, but I also created some problems for myself, so I'll give myself a C+.
I was a little hot. I was a little behind your roll-in, and then I did a little float after the pulls of the set. Rest of the maneuver was bang on. Clear was pancake flat. I give myself a B- due to those two mistakes. Not much to talk about though. The crab angle was nuts, but I don't know. It is what it is. All right, the Wanderer. I didn't brief this, but I've been doing the Wanderer over the runway because I've been watching what they do at El Centro, and they do the Wanderer in over the cart essentially. So right at crowd minimums, which is a very fascinating place to do it, but that seems to be what they're doing this year. So yeah, the rollout was fairly snappy. We were more or less on speed. I think I waited long enough for the pull to 5, and the roll behind the crowd was good, but we just had tons of knots, so had to drop those coming in for the diamond roll, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, this was really solid by me pretty much the whole way. It's the only time I've matched your pull rate, I think, ever. So that was interesting to see you like right down my wing line while we were coming behind crowd on the knife edge. And I was kind of excited about that, so I completely screwed up the rejoin and got like way sucked and like behind you. So that was just bad. Not a full safety, but definitely
That
knocks
looks
down the grade.
sick.
So I'll probably call that a B- because of the rejoin. The rest of it was great.
Dude, that looks sick.
I know, dude.
I got the so yeah. That's all on me getting the timing right, because like you're doing the pull rate normally every time. It's just I'm pulling before you, so that's why you end up getting behind. So I'm happy to see that my adjustments helped. Okay, delta roll. There was a lot going on in my brain during this maneuver, because I was debating whether or not we needed to roll earlier than 23 degrees nose high. But I chose not to, because I was like, we don't ever get up there. Like, highest we get is like 6,000, and clouds are at 7.5, so we should be fine. So the turn behind crowd was a little interesting, because I had to add a little bit of power in the turn, but then it being the right choice. The rollout was a little flat and weird. And then the up we go for the hill climb was a little snappy, so apologies there. Once we got into the roll, it was fairly measured until the rollout, which was fairly snappy as well. Once you get to the 45, on the back end, any minute millimeter adjustment to the stick to arrest the roll, like the jet just parks essentially at that angle. So that makes it a challenge to roll it out slowly and smoothly. So that's something that I need to work on and practice a little bit more. Yeah, pull to level was good, and we'll get into the fleur-de-lis turn in a moment.
Yeah. I had the second safety of the night on a rollout where I got a little wing climb on the initial rollout and had to deconflict and reset. I was able to reset relatively quickly, but still just a little out of parameters and dangerous. Hung with you pretty well at the initial part of this, and then I just forgot the whole rudder thing. I don't know. Well, it wasn't even that I forgot. I knew I needed to transition between outside outboard pedal and inboard pedal a couple times, because there's this like your outboard pedal for the first quarter of it, then your inboard pedal while you're chasing boss around, and then once he gets knife edge to you, then you're back to outboard pedal because he's falling into you. And I just didn't smoothly transition between the second two of those, or the all the I don't know. Yeah, the second two switches I didn't smoothly transition, so I got out of position. I got sucked, and the last quarter of the roll, and had to smoke off and reset. So not a safety, but definitely out of position, and sloppy. So yeah, I'd call that a C minus, maybe a D actually. Well, there's a safety at the beginning, so that's fail. F.
All right, fleur-de-lis. I didn't start this turn brisk enough, and so that meant that we went an extra like 0.2 away from crowd, which screwed up the geometry of this turn, which is why we had to do the ease of the pull towards the end there, and why we were still outboard. So that was unfortunate, and probably led to some fun in the turn for you. I didn't smoke off early enough. I smoked off like pointed towards crowd, and usually I do it earlier. Up we go is fine. I had to add a little bit of power because we were going to be way too slow. So that's something I need to fix for next time. The break and the rolls, I think, are going to be good timing. So will the roll and the roll behind crowd. We were more or less line abreast by the time we rolled out, which meant that I had some overspeed, so I was able to cut across your nose a little bit closer and a little bit slower this time, which hopefully helped with the rejoin. It was really hard to see anything at our altitude and how fast we were going coming back towards center point, so I basically just rolled out on feel, and it ended up being about right. And this is where the next adjustment happened. As we were headed towards the 35, I was like, oh shoot, we usually like top out like 8.9. That's going to put us in the clouds. That doesn't work. So I had us roll a little early, and we rolled through both of them. I made some adjustments to make sure that we weren't going to hit the dirt. And overall, I think those adjustments worked. But they were not briefed, and we've never done them. I think the only time we've done them was when we were flying with that random dude on one of the aerobatic servers. Is the only time that we've done something like this. And this is probably closer to what the real guys do in scenarios like this when the cloud's this low, but yeah, it's an interesting moment. I think I give myself a C- for this maneuver as a whole, though.
Yeah, let's see. So, way back to the fleur-de-lis turn was pretty good. Your adjustment, it took a long time and you hadn't smoked off, so then I started to get suspicious. But then I kind of got squirrely, so it just got a little out there. But I was able to get back in. I was a little behind on the rollout, so I wasn't quite dead abeam. Yeah, their hits were good. Behind crowd, I was able to get tucked in. I was tucked right in, so I was all over the power, and then all off the power, and then all back on the power.
Yep, that's how it goes.
The crowd. And then, yeah, when we were going up, I was thinking, or maybe we were coming in towards center point, because I could see the clouds, and I was like, I wonder what he's going to do. So I was just sort of like queued up for whatever you were going to do. So when you just kept rolling through, I was all ready and I was in the right position. And when you brought in more roll to roll more quickly, I was all set for it and just fine and stayed in position. The major question I had is like when you called like go get him, I didn't know where you were going to go after that because we're in a spot where you're not normally.
Mm-hmm.
You're lower and flatter. And so I was like, I really hope he rolls wings level and pulls up a little bit. And you did, and so then I like when you called clear and I saw you do that, then I knew where I could go, and then it all kind of worked out. So I give myself like a B+ for that. I rolled with the punches really well.
Nice job.
All right, so the loop break cross. I think the mistake I made here was just coming to crowd right heading. I should have just kept a little bit outboard and then made the turn wider because we basically came back on it. Also, for whatever reason, the profile that I normally fly, 450 knots, 3.2 Gs up over the turn, and start the pull up at 1.2, keeps getting us like pretty far crowd right.
Yeah, it's been happening at the show site for me too when I practice. I'm wondering if it's just me, but apparently not.
Yeah, so I'm not going to change it for the next show, but if the next show after that it's the same problem, then I will probably change that. I won't necessarily brief it because it'll just be like slight adjustments in the numbers for me, but it's been an interesting thing I've noticed, at least at this show. So yeah, we were 3 right. I said left because I just kept I was confused about it.
I knew what you meant.
Wow, yeah, look at that. So I kept the same amount of pulling, but I should have brought in more. I'm looking at the tack view, and it like the top of this thing just gets flat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting, yeah. Because it felt like we were going to stall. But anyway, maybe I eased out a little pull. I honestly don't remember. Anyway, we were pretty far right, so that made things hard. But I just I had some speed on the way out, which if there were 6 jets, that would screw everybody up. But because there's just 2 of us. I was like, well, I don't know that this is a solvable problem unless I'm like on the blower for a little bit, which I actually didn't get in the blower, but like if I'm hauling the mail. But I was able to get back on speed for the up the hill and everything else, and then back in was pretty solid. I wasn't quite low enough to start with, but I worked it down and I was able to maintain my speeds. I looks like I'm really shallow on the angle, so I'll have to look at that, or at least I'll have to memorize my outbound angle more carefully than I did this time. Yeah, overall, I don't know. We give that one a C.
I said I was clear and I had contact. I did have contact, but I wasn't quite clear because I was right over top of you. I didn't put enough drive in to pull up next to you after the clear, so that's safety. I'll fix that one for next time. Once I rejoined, I don't know, I was just a
I
little,
didn't even see that.
yeah, I was just a little bobbly on the on my farm flying today, so I was never really locked in for this maneuver on for the rest of the show, which was unfortunate because I felt super locked in for the for the section maneuvers prior to this. Up over the top was a little spicy. I just got a little floaty and had to just, classic waggling the stick to make the thing stay in the right place, as you do over the top in this maneuver. I could tell, based upon what was coming into view as we were coming over the top, that things were getting spicy and that we were going to be quite a bit right. You ended up doing a little bit right wing down as we approached center point, which I adjusted for just fine. But that was an addition into the chaos. But I rolled and got to 60 degrees and pulled out well, and then adjusted well, so I was bang on 4 miles when we went up the hill, and then I was matched with you exactly, headed into the box. And if you watch the TAC view, and you zoom right in, bammo, nailed it. So, yeah. I would call that a solid B+.
Good work. The
Delta breakout.
Yeah. So I gave myself a little bit of extra angle laterally, but I think I was remembering what the winds were doing last show. This show they're pushing just a little bit, not directly outboard, or not directly away, away from crowd, but more that direction. And I didn't quite account for that well. So we had a little bit too much back right, and then I also overcooked the turn and didn't roll out fast enough, and I just didn't feel like banking back into you to fix it. So I just kind of held what I had, and it's going to be pretty far right. And then I also didn't roll to the set as quickly. Like I wasn't as on that as or at least I didn't do it the way I normally do. It looks like it ended up more or less matching, which is funny. But I definitely was slow to get to both the angle and the G that I should have been at. So overall, I give that a D. It's just not a great maneuver for me.
All right. My rejoin was a little slow, but when you did your turn, you started your left-hand turn, I matched. I stayed on plane with you, which felt really sexy and cool. So that made the actual rejoin, really easy. So doing that all the time now. My farm flying was a little sloppy until we got line abreast, at which point I was bang on the whole way. And the little bit of pull, it's always hard to tell how much when you're line abreast, so it just got a little touch wobbly. And then the brake, I snapped it right to 2 and to 2G and the right bank angle, so that was good. So all in all, I'd give myself a B for this. That takes us to the Delta pitch up break. I was going real fast, so I put in a bunch of pull in this turn, which I realized as we were coming around the corner it was going to be too much, so I eased a bunch out. And that was the right call because I had to ease out even more before we pulled it back into the runway to roll out. But this was the best on speed, on altitude, on line rollout I've had at Akrotiri since we started flying, and that includes any of my practice shows. So I think that the end result of all of those adjustments was a solid flat flight over the runway, even with the crab angle. So that was great. And then I knew that that was great, so I just kept trying to nail all my numbers for the rest of the way, and ended up doing so with one exception, which is that I was too high uh, rolling out for the runway. So came in with a little bit of a steep angle and had to ease it out and do a little flare. And then taxi was good, parking was good. I had to take 2 stabs at parking because I actually came up a little short. But all in all, I give myself a B plus on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The rejoins of this field have been good. This one, I got a little underneath the formation, so if I had been trying to actually tuck into the right wing position, I would have smacked into 4. So that was I guess technically a safety. But it was probably, if I had just stepped down a little bit, it was going to be a decent rejoin. Step down a little bit and pull a little earlier. I think if I'm as high up relative to you as I was in this particular instance, when I roll to pull into you, I lose sight, and that's what I didn't want to do. So that's why I rolled late and got underneath you. So that was just what that correction needed to be. Learning for next time. I was able to get in and fly pretty decent formation all the way in and be able to tuck it in over the field, which felt great, and then followed you in for a pretty solid landing. Taxi was great, and then I just completely missed my break point for the parking. I don't know how to like combine all that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. It all seemed fine.
All right, let's go watch this thing. I gotta say, another thing to commend us on is this is the first time we've flown in cloud in a while, and since we've done the DLSS changes, and I feel like we adapted well. Also, the smoke was non-existent today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
So,
basically couldn't see it.
really
I could
good.
see you though. That
Yeah,
was nice.
really good job adjusting to the complex weather today. I think that that was my hope as we started to fly with real weather, is that we would be able to adjust to any weather scenario, and try and replicate what the Blues do and their discipline in that, which is something that none of the other groups are doing in DCS, because it's not realistic. It's not like the flight model issues that we've been talking about off stream. All of these things, like we've been doing work and we've been thinking hard about it, and I think that's I think we're making good progress, and so today was a really good example of that.
Yeah.
And so probably worth practicing a full low show and flat show in the future, so that we can make those adaptations when needed. But we're on a really good track towards being as flexible as the real people. So let's keep it up.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Time to watch a replay. As long as it doesn't break.
I can't see your stream.
Really?
Like you're streaming, but it's just black.
Oh, sorry, my bad. There we go. How about now?
Thank you. Got it.
Sorry. Let's do options. Volume. Unpause. Oh, that was pause. Never mind. Let's go find center point. That's not center point. That's center point. I'm trying TAA net this time.
Okay.
To see if we like it better. It's fuzzier. Yeah, that's more or less right. Let's get above our cone doodad here. I think things in motion are going to be blurry.
We'll see. The bushes aren't really.
They're a little blurry in motion, but
I'm getting some pretty Like initially when we were doing DLSS, I wasn't getting a lot of artifacting, but I'm getting a decent amount now.
Yeah, the low contrast of this was leading to some artifacting, but it wasn't distracting to me during the show, personally.
Or ghosting, I suppose. Yeah, it wasn't distracting. It just makes you look like an anime jet with
Yeah.
like streaks.
Oh, interesting. I'm getting the same here as well. Like, I'm getting streaks, even though this is TAA and not DLSS. So, it might be a DCS, how DCS handles anti-aliasing. That's the issue here. Because I'm not
But it doesn't
using...
do it in MSAA.
That's correct.
Mhm.
Because I'm not in DLSS. I've got upscaling off, I'm on TAA. So it's I think they trained DLAA off of TAA.
Might have, yeah. Dude, you gotta do 4K at some point.
Yeah, you make a good... But then I have to resize my desktop, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
takes like 2 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Well,
right.
once you to set it up might take like 2 minutes, but
Yeah.
then
No,
you just
I
like
think I'm
switch
gonna
it.
do that because I don't like this. The artifacting is awful.
Yeah, I used to switch pretty frequently between 1080p and 4K when I was doing the video.
Yeah, the artifacting is hideous. Look at that.
Yep, yeah. Oh, that's really.
All right, sorry, I'm doing it now. Screw this.
Dang, deploy it now.
All right, let's. Whatever, y'all can watch me do this. Who cares?
Watch me double.
Doesn't take that long to load DCS. It only takes like 4 minutes. Alright. Control panel. I'm sure you could do it from the app, but I know how to do it from the control panel, so that's where I'm going to do it from. I say that. Change resolution. Custom, enable, definitely not that one. I don't know why that one's there. Oh god, it didn't save it. You remember what the number is?
The number for what again?
4K.
Oh, hold on. I could just look at mine.
It's
I still have it
4880
preset.
by
Hold on.
220. I don't remember what it is.
Where is it? No, it's not that. Come on. Wow, I'm actually losing my mind. Play resolution. Here we go. Oh, mine
What?
didn't save it either.
Alright, I'll look it up.
Weird. Huh.
3840 by 2160. I think NVIDIA must have done a thing. What? There we go. Unacceptable character, yeah, I know. It's a space.
How did I used to?
This is how I used to do it. Then you do test.
Oh no, I did do it through the IB.
No signal detected. What? Apparently that didn't work. How'd you do it? Oh, hold on. The timing was wrong.
Yeah, change resolution.
Hold on. Let's try this again. Still no signal. It's not working for me.
Weird.
It won't do it.
Huh. So I can see what you're displaying.
No, I know you can. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine does it. Are you using your BenQ?
Yeah.
Maybe they changed something? I don't know. That's bizarre. Let me try. Create a custom resolution.
I'm not gonna
3840.
spend very long doing this.
No. By what is it? 2 something something.
I just got rid of it. So
Yeah,
sorry. 3840 by 2160. Alright. At this point.
Test. Yeah, it worked for me. Like it just boom did it.
Wild. I don't see a way to do it in...
Huh. Bizarre. Alright, well.
Hold up. Yeah, I don't see a way to do it. Let me try it one more time. Was it? What was it again?
I will say that it's 3840 by 2160.
Okay.
I'm doing it on my BenQ GW2255.
Right, I know. Okay, that worked. Don't ask me why.
Okay. I won't.
Apply. Now everything's tiny. Alright, get me... Oh, shoot. Okay. Duplicate. Hold up, I'm fixing it.
No, I just remembered that happening.
Ba-doo. How does one... hold up. Copy, paste. There's monitor 2 up there. And, yes. As of, monitor 2. Yeah, it's just not the preview. Unlock the preview. Shrink. There's a way to do this where you just, like, tell it to fit the thing.
That's freaking sick.
What?
I was just looking. There's a
what?
There's a video, and I was looking at it. And
Oh. There we go. Alright, 4K.
Sweet.
Alright, settings. 4K. This is custom 3. We're going to turn MSA back on. Maximum no upscaling. Save this as custom 3. So maybe you'll just do it next time, and we'll apply it. And we'll launch DCS. Okay.
Yeah, I have one of my DCS presets as my 4K preset.
I keep thinking, I should upgrade my monitors. But then, I need a new headset because the G2 is going to stop working. I need a new stick because the springs aren't going to last forever. Or it's like, I don't have the money. I can never save up, that's never high on the priority list because these monitors just work.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would love to get, 1440p or 1080p monitors, right? But it's just never high on the priority list.
When I was doing some GA flying in X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator a while ago, I was experimenting between track IR and VR.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of reasons why it might make sense to do pancake mode for GA flying. So I can use actual knee boards, and you don't have to look around in the same way. But it is so... I don't have the muscle memory anymore. It's so hard to control what I'm looking at. It's so freaking frustrating. I was like, I just want to go back to VR. I don't want to deal with trying to figure out how much, tweak the track IR settings forever to get them
Well,
just so that it does all the stuff.
one benefit of the Quest 3 is that pass-through.
Yeah,
So, like,
I'll
theoretically,
be honest, is very appealing.
yeah, put everything in your lap as, like, and even, like, your panels that you have, your GA panels, or as, like, pass-through, and then... Also, to be honest, hand control.
Yeah.
If we can get it to work decently.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of being able to do some of the stuff that we do with the mouse in DCS with fingers is a cool idea to me.
It is. Though I have seen enough people play with it that I think the ones that are it works best is you have something physical that you're touching.
Right.
That has some point of reference for where things are in the cockpit. Doesn't mean that you have like an actual setup with like switches and stuff, but it's just like there's one guy who did it where he just basically put a board in front of him that was like the firewall.
Yeah. The text is tiny. My UI scaling is off, but, it's fine. Whoa. Yeah, this is MSA and it looks crisp.
Yeah. Because 4K, dude.
4K, dude.
Yeah, it looks freaking crispy.
I think that's 8x. How we doing? We're still ticking along. My GPU is mad at me now. This is probably why people complain about DCS performance, because they're trying to crank it in 4K. That's one of the benefits that I get for, not not having 4K. I don't have to crank everything to 4K.
It's kind of funny though. It's like DCS doesn't perform well, and for a long time, in all fairness, it didn't. But it does it all right now, and people are just like, it doesn't perform well. It's like, well, you're pushing the limits of what you should be able to do. Oh, hey, quick question.
Yes.
While we're rolling, when you say stand by the flaps, what should I be doing at that point?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if they taxi with flaps up. But if they don't, nothing.
Got it. So that would be going from auto to flaps half.
to yes, flaps half. And we both do it, and then I would go flaps up on my 3, 2, 1. Alright, here we go. Finally.
Here we go.
Looks so crispy. Whoops. I'll fix that.
Yeah, that does look quite good. Even at the lower resolution I'm getting. Even at the lower resolution I'm getting, that looks really good.
It looks so good. And it's like locked 60. There he is.
Apparently I'm still a burner. Okay, whatever.
Yep. Pause is not what I meant. Alright, let's accelerate just a little bit. Are we above the cone now? Yes, we are. Cool. Yerk. Yeah, performance is a little worse with all the weather.
Yep, makes sense though.
That's smoke, apparently. Center point.
center point and on altitude.
Very
Okay.
nice. Let's go. Alright. It's like a B on my clears.
Yeah, I had kind of a crappy clear that first clear as well.
I can see all the smoke, all the like puffs of smoke. Perfectly fine.
Where's the smoke? Where is it? Oh, too late. There it is. Brownish smudge.
Alright. 2 right, I'll
Slow.
take it. You knew you were low though.
Yeah. I wish I'd known it like 2 seconds earlier, so I
Yeah.
could have fixed it though.
Very nice. Good drop in and everything.
Yeah. That one felt good. And I was basically on the bearing line all the way in. Felt good too. I'm gonna watch this float right here.
Yeah, I saw this in my mirror.
Whee!
Just got a little bit of extra stick in there on the rollout. That was a good roll in from me.
It was really good, yeah.
A little low.
Yeah. You said
Still
you were high,
solid though. Yeah,
which typically
I was at 350. Pretty good. Good gear. I was a little late on the hook. I fat fingered it.
Oh man, my position's alright.
Yep.
Yay. I was doing a lot of jockeying. You can't tell, but I was
Nice.
like managing the stick and throttle a lot in that.
Good timing there.
Yeah. Well done.
Alright, in for the Mert. I think the show's gonna look really good.
Yeah.
There's the pitch. And a lot of adjustments here as I'm going around the corner. Yeah, definitely not my sexiest MRT, but it served the purpose. Proved that the F-18 can do cool things.
Yep. So what I learned from this is that I need to be later by a lot, because I was really late, and this isn't that bad. Like, I was really late.
Like, normally you need to be later?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not as late as this, but
Alright.
only like maybe
gonna-
a couple of seconds
I'm gonna be
faster.
nice to you and go normal speed for this rollout.
It doesn't matter. It's bad anyway. Like,
Smoke off at the right time. Yep, this looks right. Alright, noted. A little high. Interesting. And a little low on the turn. Alright. I can fix
still, that spacing laterally. like
Yes,
that
lateral spacing is
was
perfect.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense, because as we go further away, you need to spread out just a little to make it stay a beam.
Yep. This is one of my nicest circles. Good altitude.
Yep. Yeah, just a little late.
Yeah, just 2 right. Little wobble in the roll I couldn't fix. Oof. Snipe. Nice. Snappy.
Nice.
Whatever, dude. Shut up.
It's fine. It's mostly because it's late.
Yeah, dude. Snipe. That's gonna be. That's gonna become a thing, isn't it? All right, here we go.
This be your call sign.
Snipe. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh, dude, nailed it.
Center point
Friggin' A.
and well-timed rolls. Let's go.
Good show.
That felt good, to be honest, in the jet. I was like, it's kind of scrambly, but like, yeah. That's the timing they do in real life. This timing. Nowadays. Like, this is the today timing that they do. I can understand why. It makes the jet look more performant.
Yep. It's also closer, so the jet is closer and probably louder.
Do it right over Mike's head. One of these times I should film one of these from the mic position.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for comparison.
Two, 3, 4, 5. Within the box. Nice rolls. Very, very straight. Good job. There he is. Well done.
Wow, my clouds were not in those positions at all.
No, your clouds were, but you have to remember that this is looking from the crowd.
Ah, yeah.
So
Because
like,
I punched through a cloud layer.
Yeah.
Like,
and here's the slow flat pass. The pull up. There it is. Burners. It's like nothing I can do. I gotta adjust my speed here. Here we go. Ugh. Gross on the third. I'm smoking the whole time.
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I remember coming back in and calling the smoke.
Yep. That stinks. Whatever, it happens. Vertical pitch. See how we did? 200's a bummer, but the trees are there. Center point.
Nice and on altitude.
Just one can, but I'll take it.
I was kind of in a dive on the way to center point for this. Because you kept calling more pull and I was already pulling.
Center point.
A little high.
That was our first time double center point in a while.
Yeah.
This was a good show.
Yep.
Quite a good show.
Which, like, given the crappiness of some of my inbounds, like, credit to you that we hit center point ever. It wasn't.
No, I'm
Some of them
getting
were really
more
off.
used to the 10 seconds. It's taken me a good 4 shows, but I'm starting to get used to it. And it actually gives me more time to adjust.
Mhm. Good work. Oh,
See why I was stoked?
yeah.
Who's who? Do you know? Little high. Just a little ahead at the end. Still, that was really good.
Way overrolled it. I mean, not as bad as the track file makes it look, but
You're a little high.
definitely overrolled it.
Ready to watch the party? Pull into the set. Smoke's on. Here's the float.
I mean, the years of practice, it's just impressive that far out of parameters how smoothly you can bring it back in. Like when I was doing this, granted I've only done it probably like 10 times in my whole life, it was just like, I was all over the shop.
Here we're now in the crab. No, honestly, none of this was a problem. It was just very active and exhausting.
Yeah. I'm very curious what this clear is going to look like.
Pancake flat from me.
Okay. Yeah. I think I need to do opposite rudder and then about midway through it switch it so it'll get the end to scoot out.
Yeah. If you're looking for the scoot.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Did I turn SSR into high for my 4K profile? I might have. Because it looks really nice. A little blown out, but, you know, there's some artistry to that. Alright. Nice. Good rollout.
It's a little bobble there. I was a little in close. Alright, let's see if this timing works.
This looks good.
Yeah.
This looks really good. Yeah, nice. Yeah, let's go.
And it was interesting because I've never been pulling like a beam view like that.
Uh-huh.
I actually had to adjust the pull a lot in the turn to stay with you.
That was cool looking. Dude, 4K just looks good, even on a 1080p monitor. Come around for the delta roll. There's the wing climb. Up we go. Okay. There's the rudder switch that didn't happen. A little sucked, too.
Oh yeah, no, the sucked thing happened with the rudder. I thought I debriefed that. Oh well.
It looks like we're boogieing, but that's because of the wind. Yeah, you can see the wind blowing us a little bit. Should have smoked off right there.
Yeah. Little bobble.
In nice and close. That's not a complaint. That's just like a
I'd rather not be though.
little early from me. I like the smoke off timing. That was nice from both of us. Good job. Nice. Good timings there. Skip the boring parts. Yeah. Yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. See what this looks like. Basically a very slow roll, delta roll.
Yeah.
Nice smoke off timings as well. I was like, oh, can't drop down. I don't see him anymore. One of the things I keep forgetting about was during the era of the F-18C, like, the jets moved around a lot more in the Diamond.
I wonder why.
It's just smaller aircraft. It's like watching it's like watching the Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when you watch their onboards, the jets are moving all over the place. Gosh, this sim looks good with beautiful lighting.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. It was funny, I've done this approach a couple times recently, and as we were in the turn, I saw the radio towers go by, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're overshot.
Yeah.
You gotta, because you see where they are based upon
Yep,
center
yep.
point. You gotta come like right in next to them.
Yep, yep. I didn't even have that visual reference.
And the reason I
Memorized.
noticed that is because during our last show, when we were as we were rolling out, we were like sneaking right by him, and I was like, "Jeez, that's close." And so like that stuck in my brain. Good job with the geometry for this rejoin.
It feels really uncomfortable,
I'll bet.
but it feels cool when you get it right.
There's the extra pull. You don't seem to be minding this.
I mean, I wasn't happy about it, but since we had those discussions about the lead just going to do what he needs to do, I was like, well, I can't be mad. I just have to learn to deal with it. So, and then you start to anticipate boss a little more and be like, all right, what's he doing? Why is he doing it? And you kind of get an idea of like what's going to come next. Like if you ease out pull in a turn, then I'm expecting that you're going to probably bring in some more to tighten it down and get on line.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then I'm already set.
Phew, that looks pretty. Right on the ILS lights.
Four.
Someday. Apparently, rendering all these ILS lights is challenging. My GPU is grumpy.
That's just because you're speeding it up.
No, it's like a little more jittery. Oh, sorry. I very lightly nudged the mouse. Alright, let's go look at parking.
It's gonna be a bummer.
Wow, even I was a little ahead.
I just came in with too much speed.
Man, you came with some knots, dude.
Yeah.
Boogieing.
Because I was full brakes from like half of your jet back, and it just didn't stop.
Alright, that's a show.
That is a show.
Alright, folks, we owe you a spin of the wheel to find out where we're going next. It'll be very interesting. So let's do that, shall we? DCS?
Let's do it.
DCS? Can we do that? DCS? Thank you. First things first. Let me fix my resolution. Pow! Okay. And let's spin the wheel. Please be something good. Oh my gosh, it's Tbilisi, no way!
I thought it was going to be Kadada.
Man, dude, Tbilisi's been a hot minute.
It's also really high.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay.
When was the last time we did Tbilisi? It's been...
Dude, it's been a hot minute. For those of you who are watching on our YouTube channel, we started learning how to do a Blue Angel show at Tbilisi, and we were trash. We started it on the Grim Reaper Stoneburner server, actually. That's why we did Tbilisi, because it was the place where people wouldn't get mad at us for doing an air show. And being bad at it. And they still got mad at us for doing an air show and being bad at it. We've come a long way since then, as you hopefully have seen over the last 2 hours. But yeah, it's gonna be Tbilisi next time. Fascinating. All right, folks, we'll see you at Tbilisi for a Friday show.
Woo!
Bye.